It's day 3. Are you tired of this yet? Well, we're almost done. Today doesn't really have that much for you to do. It's just a bit of take up and revising your final section so that way you can get your full final marks for tomorrow, the final and last day, and it's Friday. Woohoo! All right. So for today, just going to go over the revisions, what you need to do. I know that yesterday we had the fire drill. So again, if your students need some more time to finish the booklet, then please give them some time at the end of today's lesson. All right, so section A, you revised your work and you should have gotten a mark in your open response section here out of 30. It's 10 for each look for, so that's what you should have gotten somewhere around here. You also probably got a check mark for all of these multiple choice questions to make sure that they're also correct. Okay, so that was what we did yesterday. The second thing we did was we took a look at your section B response for the open response question, the short answer question. So you had state a main idea of the selection and provide one specific detail from the selection that supports it. So the main idea of the selection, that's your point. One specific detail, that's the proof, and then they want you to support it, that's your connect. So you can see, even in the question, you can point out the PPC that it's really straightforward and they want you to write it that way. All right, so we gave you some feedback. You will see it in the margin, the PPC with a question mark or a check mark. One thing I'm going to point out is a lot of people that we were looking at, we noticed that they just talked about how this reading selection was about hurricanes, and they wrote about that in general. But this particular reading section is talking about more than just hurricanes. So that's why it's really important to reread, especially your topic sentence and concluding sentence, because that gives you the main ideas. So here it says, the methods of naming hurricanes have varied over time, but all have encountered problems. So this whole thing is really about the problems they've had in naming hurricanes. So that should be what your point is. Then here's the proof. And then you're going to wrap it up with a connect, which is right over here. So go ahead, fix up what you've got based on the feedback you received. Pause the video and take a few minutes to do that right now. Okay, now that you've revised your work, I'm hoping that you get a code 30. And spoiler alert, I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. I think maybe seeing some examples will help you, making sure that your revisions and your final copy that you give us, whether it's your section A or your section B, that it's your best work and that you're getting a better understanding of what you have to do for PPC. Okay, this is an example of a code 10. That means they only got the 1 out of the 3 look fors. And you can see that all they have is the main idea. They know that the main idea of this selection is that naming hurricanes has become a challenge. So that's the point. So they got that mark. Then they go in to say that evidence to support my reasoning is from sentence 17, which summarizes the content of the selection. You can't say that. You can't say sentence 17 or paragraph 4. The person has no idea what you're talking about. Okay? We don't use this in English. This is not at all how you answer a question. You have to use full sentences. You need to put it into your own words. That's what this is all about. This is a literacy test. So you need to communicate your ideas. All right. All right. So this one, you can see here, there's an annotation. You've probably skim read this while I was talking. That's a code 10. This is a code 20. All right. It does have the main idea again, how hurricanes are named different things over time. However, a hurricane strikes, they always have to give a different name to it. Also, whenever they name a hurricane, they have to use all the letters of the alphabet. So they do have some proof. It's not the most accurate proof, but they got some proof behind their ideas. So they got a code 20. All right, that's 2 out of the 3 look fors. And then here's a perfect example of somebody who got a code 30. They say how the hurricanes have varied over time, and that's been a problem because there were too many. So there's the point. Then they talk about this as an example, and that's a proof right out of the reading. And then if they keep hitting there, the name will have to be repeated over and over again. So obviously identifying that this is a problem. So there's their connection. So this is a code 30. I hope this helped you visualize what a correct answer looks like. Yours doesn't have to be like this exactly 100%, but if you've got PPC done, then you will have gotten a code 30. All right. So that should have been provided to us with the revisions you just made. And we'll move on to the Oh, don't I show you the answers, do I? Not yet. So multiple choice. So you also had multiple choice questions. And just like yesterday, I would like you to work through the rubric by adding in, is it explicit? Is it implicit? And why you think that way? Or is it making connection? And why do you think that way? And then what's the correct answer? So go and have some fun with your friends. Go argue if you believe that you are correct. Have some fun. Take about 15 minutes to 20 minutes to do this. So pause the video now and get this done. Okay, so you've taken up your multiple choice questions. You think you know what the right answers are. Let's see if you're correct. Who's going to be the right person in your group? All right. Make sure this is section B. All right, section B, question 1 clearly states the answer in the reading. The correct answer is B, and that's for explicit meaning. Question number 2, it doesn't clearly say it. It's implied, but they do use words like significant and major when describing, so that means it's D. For question number 3, you're making a connection. Assigned is the only possible choice that works without changing the meaning of the sentence. So if you reread the sentence with each option, assigned is the only one that fits properly. So that means the answer is A. Okay, for question number 4, you're making a connection. If you go back to it, it tells you how they're referring to the letters and not trying to form words. So the correct answer is C. For number 5, implicit meaning, they go on to say how hurricane activity has increased so much. And then they use 2005 was the busiest season. So it's identifying how many storms and how many hurricanes as proof. And that correct answer is D. And for number 6, more making connections. Okay, and it talks about, remember that first sentence and the last sentence that we read? We went from problem to solution. So the correct answer is C. All right, so that is your multiple choice take up. You've also gotten your open response revised. So we're good. We're going to collect this package one last time. We're going to give you your final grades. The last thing that I'm going to point out for you is that on the very last page, we do have some tips on how you should be an active reader. So tomorrow when you get it back, I hope you kind of skim through this, and I'll probably point it out again tomorrow in tomorrow's video, our final video. And last but not least, just before you pause and turn me off, the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test Preparation course is happening. We have an after-school program, all right? There is a registration form in your teacher's package. Everybody should have gotten one. We highly recommend that if you are getting feedback that shows you're not getting a perfect score or you're having some serious doubts about how to do these tasks, whether it's the multiple choice or the PPC, this is something that I would highly recommend. Taking the after-school literacy course will really help you prepare. It's happening Tuesdays and Wednesdays after school. It starts next week. You need to fill in this registration form, get it signed by a parent or guardian, and return it back tomorrow. In fact, you can put it back with your teacher who's standing in the room with you into the pink folder, and I'll collect it that way. All right, so if you can bring it back for tomorrow, that would be awesome. And if not, you can come and find me in room 210 to either pick up a copy or drop it off in case you're absent, or in case you just want to come and see me and actually see my face as opposed to just hearing my voice. All right, so after school literacy program, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's after school from 3:45 to 5:15. We're going to make it fun. There's going to be games and food, and you're going to get a better understanding of how to maybe do some of these things that are required on the literacy test, because remember, it is a pass or fail, and you need to pass it in order to graduate. All right, and if you're not going to pass it through the test or your second time at the test, then you're going to pass it by taking an OSLC course, which would be the whole semester as opposed to just the 10 after school sessions. So forms are in the package. Teacher, please provide one to each of your students. Students, think about it. Get it signed, return it to tomorrow's class so that we can have it in your last package. All right, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Have fun. On a Thursday night, really? I don't know. Have fun. See you tomorrow. Bye.